Welcome to The Long View. I'm Joel Gubich. In a world increasingly focused on the immediate, The Long View is about thinking beyond the moment through longer time horizons, better decisions, and a deeper appreciation for what compounds over time. This episode features an essay from The Stuff My Dad Never Told Me Substack publication. Let's begin. Don't take shit from anyone. The life lesson behind holding your ground without losing your character. Standing up for yourself is not about being louder than the person across from you. It's about learning and knowing who you are, what you will accept, and where your integrity refuses to bend. There are some lessons that arrive later than they should. For me, one of them was learning how to stand up for myself without becoming someone I did not respect. There's a version of "don't take shit from anyone" that sounds like an invitation to be aggressive, combative, or permanently offended. That is not what I mean. What I mean is simpler and harder. Do not allow yourself to become the place where other people dump their ego, their pressure, or their misuse of authority. I wish my dad had given me a cleaner version of this advice. Maybe he did in his own way. He could be direct when direct was needed. He did not seem impressed by titles, and he had little patience for the nonsense dressed up as importance. Like many lessons in this category, I learned it mostly through the discomfort, ego-driven mistakes, and the accumulation of scar tissue that is life. Most of us are taught to respect authority, and that's not a bad starting point. Respect keeps life from becoming a constant street fight. But respect becomes dangerous when it turns into an automatic surrender. A title may give somebody responsibility. It does not automatically give them wisdom, or character, or the right to mistreat people. A boss, a client, official, executive, or elder may deserve to be heard, but they do not deserve unlimited access to your dignity. This is where people get tangled up. They confuse being respectful with being compliant. They worry that correcting the record will make them look difficult. So they absorb the blame, swallow the insult, and pretend the situation is just fine. Every time you accept something you know is unfair just to keep comfortable, you pay for it somewhere. You start negotiating against yourself. You start shrinking before anyone even asks you to. Some people discover the language of boundaries and use it as an excuse for arrogance. They treat every disagreement as disrespect and every correction as an attack. That's not confidence. That's insecurity with a better vocabulary. Real confidence is quieter. It does not need to dominate the room. It does not need to win every exchange. It simply knows where the line is. And that line begins with truth, an inner truth. If you made a mistake, own it. If someone else has a fair criticism, listen to it. Don't be defensive. If you owe an apology, give one. But if someone assigns you blame that's not yours, rewrites the facts, or uses a position to push you into silence, that is when the line matters. Respect the person, respect the role, but do not confuse either one with permission to abandon your own integrity. There is strength in saying calmly, "That is not accurate," or "I'm willing to discuss the issue, but I am not willing to be spoken to that way." Or, "I want to solve the problem, but I will not accept responsibility for something I did not do." These are adult statements. They do not require yelling. Yelling often weakens the position. The moment you lose control, the other person can make the conversation about your tone instead of their behavior or the essence of the item at hand. Calm firmness throws people off balance, especially people used to getting their way through pressure. They expect submission or escalation. The phrase I come back to is true north. Everyone needs an internal compass, a fixed point that tells you when you're drifting away from who you are. Without that, other people's urgency can become your obligation. Their anger can become your problem. Their authority can become your silence. Knowing your true north does not make life easier. People who benefited from your lack of boundaries may not applaud when you finally develop some spine. They may call you defensive, stubborn, or difficult. That does not automatically mean you're wrong. The question is whether you're acting from ego or integrity. Ego wants to win. Integrity wants to stay aligned with the truth. Ego needs applause. Integrity can tolerate being misunderstood. Standing up for yourself is not about defeating the other person. This is not a win-lose situation. It's about refusing to betray yourself to make the moment easier. So yes, don't take shit from anyone, but say it with maturity, say it with respect, be measured, be fair, listen when required, and apologize when an apology is earned. But when someone dumps unfairly on you, hides behind a title, or pushes you off, what you know is true, stand your ground. No one else can protect your integrity. That's up to you. Thanks for listening to The Long View and to this essay from Stuff My Dad Never Told Me. There's more from where it came from. Follow the show wherever you're listening, or read the essays at joelgubich.com. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, pass it along. That's how these things travel. I'm Joel Gubich. I'll see you down the road.